Shalom, this is Yehudit from Gevurah, from Tzfat, now in Tzfat, finally home again. And I want to share with you the movements I do for the 35th day of the counting of the 40 days of challenge and centering that go from the 19th of Tammuz to the 29th of Av, a date coming up very soon. We are now at the level of Gevurah as we come down the last column of the 40 days, the last 10-day series from Keter to Malchut, at the level of the Alef of Adonai. So we went up from Malchut to Keter with the Yud of Adonai, came down from Keter to Malchut with the Nun of Adonai, and in Tisha B'Av, 9th of Av as Malchut of that column. Then we went up with the Dalet, and 5 different Dalets, one for each level of soul. We are now coming down from Keter to Malchut, and we're at the 5th day of the coming down, so we're at Gevurah. So I'm going to do an Alef combined with a nikudah for Gevurah, which is the Sh'va Na. I do the Sh'va Na, which is a very slight pronunciation of it's very short. So let's show you the Alef again, which is one facing forward to you. So it's stepping to the side, and I have a long diagonal from my heel to my left hand here. I have a supporting foot with my toe pointing to my left, and I have a hanging Yud, what I call, over here, my hand neutral, because some Alefs are written with a Yud, the final Yud at the top of the Alef facing forward, some facing back. So I just do it facing forward, trying to remember to get my upper arm parallel to the earth and the top going up. So, and this, I remind you, was the Alef is equivalent to the Yud K Vav K numerically, because the Alef consists of 2 Yuds and a Vav, which is 26, and the Yud K Vav K equals 26. So I like to call this the Alef before creation, because when I put my head down underneath my arm, in line with my arm, to me it's like seeing all potential, all possibility in that act of including the head. And then I lift the head, and when I come back, I turn my toe forward if I'm doing alternating Alef, and then I turn my right toe out and go the other direction. This would be the continuous alternating Alef, which is a very wonderful exercise in being able to be out in the world with all its multiplicity, and each time bringing my energy back to my centeredness, bringing it down in a column of 1. So this is a time of challenge and centering. Every time can be that, but these 40 days particularly are focused on that. Learning how to stay centered amidst every challenge. We'll do one more Alef, and then bring my foot back so both feet are near each other, and the hands down, feeling the support from below and above at the same time. String at the top of my head holding me up, and I'm on a stone balcony, good stone. I'm just grounding all the way through the balcony down into the earth, all the way down. So that's the Alef. The Sh'va Na is the strength and power it takes to make appropriate boundaries and noticing our limitations. And Gevurah has to do with setting limits and knowing priorities, is the way I like to think of it in terms of the nikudah. If you have your shoulder width apart, it's bringing your hands up, right hand high, left hand directly below it, and going. So it's, you dip, come up, and then without a further dip here, you're holding your feet slightly bent knees. One hand's in front of your face, one's in front of your heart. And that you're protecting you, but you're also giving yourself meditation space between. You're setting priorities, first and second, and then you come down. So coming up to separating and coming down. Palms facing up as you go up, then face out. I do it mostly right hand high. If I do a long pattern, I sometimes do 4 and 4 or 2 and 2. Always try to do at least 2 together. So there's already setting a limitation, a condition on to the process. Gevurah. And then opening. Okay. So we do this 10 times, repetition of the Alef and the Sh'va Na. And as I do it, I'm going to be sensing inside my body from Keter, Chachma, Bina, Hesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, all the way down to Malchut, the centered place in my being. And I'll do one active Malchut, because Malchut is the level of Asiya, and then several breaths, as long as I need to be breathed by Hashem as a totally receptive place of Malchut, being breathed in order to act in this world, to be alive in this world. We are inspired always by Hashem. So let's start the process. I'm going to go to the left for Keter with an Alef. And this time I'm going to come back and I'm going to close and step to the right side, because Keter is crossover letter, center column, and close again. And then to the right for Chachma. And to the right again, move over just slightly for Sh'va Na, and close. And then moving, trying to keep the Alef, the hands of the Alef visible. So let's try a little farther back. So to the left for Bina, and close, and staying on the left. And to the right, Hesed, and to the right again, and then to the left for Gevurah, and the left again, and now I'm going to go to Ferret to the right, and it'll be a crossover. Center column. And then to the right twice for Netzach. To the left, hold twice. Crossover letters for Yesod and Malchut, both in the center column. So to the right for the Alef, for Yesod, and crossover, and to the left for Malchut. and then letting Hashem breathe me, the receptive Malchut, receiving in order to act, in order to give. You may feel tingling in your hands, the energy, blood passing through you, grounding yourself. Really let go on that string. Just get comfortable here. Just make any adjustments you needed to really let yourself hang on a string. Knees slightly bent. Usually with the eyes at least open and unfocused. So I bless us today on the 35th day of the 40 days of challenge and centering, that we may have the strength to set those boundaries and limits that we need to in our world. And we're in the level of a silut, of closeness to Hashem, that at this time that we may also feel our connection to every other person as part of one humanity, and all of creation is part of one creation, Hashem, for us to manifest in this body at this time in our unique way of manifesting a piece of the divine sparks, the spark of the divine fire that keeps this world alive. All blessings to you. May you be alive with wonderful and strong, being able to know your boundaries. Be well.